Hello there, welcome to the show. If you're new here, a special welcome to you. And if you're coming back, thank you for always listening. My name is Rosie Leonore, your host, and I'm doing a little intro here before I start the official video because I wanted to, first of all, wish all of you a beautiful and wonderful Mother's Day for this year. This is airing right before Mother's Day, and you all, so many of your moms, and to me, you mean so much. All the people that have followed me and have and just listened in every other week and on Spirit-filled Saturdays, which is what we're doing today. And I am going to share my heart with you and my testimony as a single mom and as a married mom. So I'm looking forward to that. So also, pardon the Zoom background. I actually recorded on Zoom and it was blurry and I didn't have any makeup first thing in the morning, but that's real. Let's keep it real, mommies. You know how that is, mamas. You're not doing your makeup first thing in the morning. So anyway, I know y'all will understand. So the main thing is that you all will enjoy the episode and that you will get out a lot out of it. And I'm praying that this encourages you. All right, ladies, here we go. Welcome back to another episode of Driven in Her Purpose. I'm Rosie Leonore, your host, and I am so happy that you can join me today for this special Spirit-filled Saturday. Now, today is a little extra special because it's the day before Mother's Day. Yes, it's airing the day before Mother's Day. And so I thought I'd take a few minutes to talk a little bit about my journey as a mom, both as a married mom, then a single mom, and then a remarried mom. What a journey. What a journey it has been. And the lessons that I have learned that God has taught me along the way. My prayer is that this sharing, this little bit of testimony and these lessons that I've learned in my life with my children that God has taught me that actually have made me a better person in a way, I guess, more like Jesus along the way. I became a mom at the age of 25 years old. So I was pregnant with my firstborn when I was just about to turn 25 years old. Like literally, I found out a week before my birthday. And so I gave birth at 25 years old. So any moms out there who became moms in their 20s, y'all know the challenges that brings and also the joys that brings. So my son was born. He's actually now 19 years old. So just to give a frame of reference, how long ago that was, and that was it was an unexpected pregnancy, but it was a beautiful pregnancy. It was unexpected because I had just got married, like literally, like not even a month, maybe 2 months ago, almost 2 months before. And so that was a surprise for me, for both of us, for my husband at the time. And becoming a mom at 25 was very confusing. I don't know how else to explain it. I mean, I became a mom and I just was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I have no idea what I'm doing. And I don't know that any new mom does, but it was very confusing. I wanna sit here and tell you, oh, it was so amazing and wonderful. And of course, yes, the journey was amazing and wonderful, but oh my goodness, was it confusing. I had no idea what I was doing and I had to learn along the way. Now, as a 25-year-old mother, at that time, I was still a mother of faith. So I was at that time a Christian. I had married a Christian man. And so we were both Christians, trying to raise up this little one, and so that was in itself has stories within it, but a lot of joy as a mom, as a mom who's a believer, as a mom who I remember, writing down in my journal a letter to him, and I pictured him being like a young man. I don't know what exactly the age was that I pictured being, my oldest son being, but I remember he was a young man. But I remember writing in my journal a letter to him, a letter that I would read to him on the day that he would decide to make Jesus Lord of his life. And that would be a special, special day. And that was my vision for him. And it's still my vision for him. So then 4 years later, I got pregnant again. Almost 4 years later, I got pregnant again with who would be my second son. He is now 14 years old. And a part of that time for 4 years, I was a mother of no faith. I believed in God, but not really. I didn't really have much faith. So I still believed that there was a God. And again, that story is in my restoration story. So feel free to go back there and listen to it. It's more detailed. I want to focus on motherhood right now, but I remember just having a different mindset. So from my restoration story, one thing that you would learn is that I had a hard time. I had a broken heart. It was a difficult time for me. And I decided to put myself first for 4 years. I decided to look out for me. I decided to try to find the next one, the other one, the other a husband, and that journey. And my focus was not on being there present with my children. Some of the lessons that I learned from that is when I was in those 4 years of just focusing on me, I realized something that truly affected my children, that affected my boys, and in more ways than I could imagine, and more ways that I could ever have imagined. So not choosing God first for 4 years put them on the back burner. The Bible talks so much about Mary and all these wonderful mothers, and they weren't perfect mothers, but they taught their children. The Bible talks about teach children to go a certain way and they will not forget it. And the Bible gives us a big responsibility as moms to be teachers of our children. There's a scripture in the Bible that says that fathers are instructors and mothers are teachers. Teachers is the role of a mother. So mothers are teachers. And for 4 years, I was not a teacher of my children. Again, focusing on my very own self, my very own life, trying to find the next one, and wasn't good. So thank you, Lord Jesus, the day that God called me back home, that he showed me and opened up my eyes to show me where I have been. And really my heart at the moment that happened just truly broke, and tears falling down. And again, it's in my restoration story, but tears falling down, and so many, just the longing to go back to God, the longing to be a good mom, the longing to be what who God has meant for me to be. Since that moment, I went back. I knew that I had to go apologize to my kids. So another lesson that I learned is apologizing is so important. Apologizing is so important, even to our children. Yes, apologizing to our children. We are wrong so many more times than we are right, I think. And we have to be humble and apologize. And I remember apologizing to them, and they were little. Like, I remember the little one was so little, and I didn't know if he understood what I was talking about. Like, if he really understood what an apology was. I think the older one definitely understood more. But I apologize for not being present for those 4 years. I apologized for not teaching them about God those 4 years. And I promised to really be that mom that God has meant for me to be. And I would do my very best to be present and to teach them, and to teach them the things that God has taught me. And so that was what I learned as a repentant mother, well, as a mother who was walking out of faith, and then as a repentant mother, what I did to start all over again. And so from then on, as a single mom, I did the very best I could. And I can confidently say that I think I did the very, very best that I could within my very own power. But the truth is, what I really learned is that the best that I did was pray for my children. Lesson number 3, I learned to pray for them. I learned to pray for them because I knew that I could do anything and everything, and I could teach them, and I could model for them all the things about God and everything else about life. But really, being a mother of prayer was the most important thing for my children to have from me, to have my prayers, to have my supplications to God for their safety, for their faith. I knew that I couldn't fight this battle alone. I had to go and pray to God. And then I had to, of course, make sure to be surrounded by my church community, a community of brothers and sisters who would be an example for them. And I would have people over my home, and I would make sure my brothers in Christ, usually the more younger ones, they were not that young, but they were like the single men who would come and get together here with the women. And we had our singles ministry, and we'd have Bible lessons and discussions. And I would be so happy when they would come over, because then my sons could see examples of godly people surrounding them. And that was really, I think, impactful for them. So 9 years later, I met my husband, and we have been married for 5.5, almost 5.5 years now. And that, of course, was a transition for my kids, and a transition, a little bit of a transition as a mom too, because now I am a wife again, and I still have to be like a good mom, right? Certainly not a perfect mom, because no mom is perfect, but I had to navigate now new waters. So God blessed me with my amazing husband now, and he became a stepdad. He had no children of his own. He became a stepfather. My children got a stepfather, and that was a big change for them, and certainly wasn't easy, especially for one of them to really have that adjustment. But soon enough, there was, of course, the adjustment happened, and me as a mother, I had to kind of figure out, all right, what am I going, like, I want to give my husband my attention, because it is important, as wives, we attend to our husbands and we love them, and obviously it's God first, our husbands, our kids, and everybody else. And so how do you do that without your children, your sons, who are so used to just having you all the time for 9 years, right? Now they have to share you. So that was a transition in and of itself. But as a mother, I knew one important thing had to stay, is two important things had to stay, of course. Continuing to be a woman of prayer, continuing to say I'm sorry when I was wrong. That's super important. And the third thing I had to learn to, as a mother with my children, and I still am to this day learning, is, as now that they are older, and I'm talking to my about my two older boys, because now I have a 3-year-old little girl, which I'll talk about in just a moment. But with them now, I had to learn how to navigate these waters of reassuring my children of my love for them, by making sure that I intentionally have quality time with them, and intentionally make the most of every opportunity in our rides together, talking in the car, asking them about how they're doing, what their likes and interests are, listening to them, bringing in God in every and any conversation that I could possibly have an opportunity to bring God in. And then in the my husband was able to put some lessons together, and that was amazing, because once a month we would get together, to once a month to every other week, we would get together and have some lessons, for Bible lessons. He put that together, and that was really, really great for them to be able to see that outside of what they would learn in church. And so for me as a mother, that really warmed my heart, and that helped me to know that they are getting more knowledge of the scriptures, not just in our talks, but also sitting down and actually reading examples and looking at scriptures together as a family. So, but reassuring that love for my kids, and spending that quality time with them, just being present with them, just being with them. And it wasn't always easy. When my third was born, and she is now 3, she's almost 3.5, and she's beautiful and she's wonderful, and she is she is the daughter of my husband, so my husband became a dad. So now we have a blended family, I think, as people would call it, right? And so now that transition has caused me to have a lot more, it was a more struggle, and it still has been more struggle, to try to really be more intentional about my time with my sons, because of course I love all my 3 children the same way. And now with a little one who requires a lot of more attention than them sometimes, really, because that's the, babies and toddlers, it's life, it's the way it is, and that's okay, that's the way it's supposed to be. Now it's a continual uh, struggle or fight to be intentional, and to really carve out time for all of my children, of course my daughter too, to make sure that when I'm with her, I give her that time and I play with her. And it's not easy, and it's not easy as a full-time working mom, and business owner, and of course coming on here to do podcasts. I always do these when everyone's sleeping, And that way it doesn't affect the time that I have with my kids. So I have strategies around that. I make sure to be productive and effective, but without or with minimal effect. It's not always perfect, I will say, but with minimal effect of my time with my children. So, as a mom now of three children, married mom, remarried mom of three children, life is teaching me. We're in a new journey, so I'm learning new lessons, and I know that I'm number four is coming along the way. Lesson number four, it's coming along the way. My oldest is in college. My middle one is in high school now. And then my little one will start preschool this fall. So that's going to be a whole other chapter of my life. And I'm looking forward to that. But I wanted to come on here and share with you, ladies, moms out there, in honor of Mother's Day, a little bit about my journey and the lessons, some of the lessons, because trust me, there are so many more lessons that if I share with you here, it would take hours to share with you, but at least some little things that I have learned along the way as a mom, both as a, initially a married young married mom, and then as a single mom, 9 years of that, and then as a remarried mom right now, which, has been about 5.5 years. And my journey continues, as all our journeys as mothers probably have changed and grown. We all have seasons of our lives. I want to encourage you, if you're in a season of challenges, if you're in a season of divorce, if you're in a season of health challenges, if you're in a season of just having maybe a tough relationship with your kids because there's changes that they're going through and you're not sure how to navigate that. If you're in any of those seasons, even if you're in a season of your own battle, of your personal battle of faith, like I was in a battle of faith for 4 years, never letting go of the fact that I knew God really existed, because I don't know that there's anything that's ever going to take that away from me. It's just too much proofs in my life, too many proofs in my life that to not believe in God, I don't think that's possible. But for those 4 years, I put Jesus last and I made terrible decisions as a prodigal daughter. So having that, maybe you're in that place, or maybe you're getting to that place. I want to encourage you, look at this as a season. Everyone goes through difficult times. It doesn't mean you're going to disappear. It doesn't mean, like, from faith. It doesn't mean that God is not with you. He's with you. He's with us always. And if you're a woman who is strong in her faith right now and you're listening to me, I want to encourage you to hang in there, sister, when the tough times happen. Not just hang in there, but continue to grow in your faith, as I am learning how to do in my walk with God. And so this is it. I wanted to share this with you, ladies, on this Mother's Day edition of Spirit-Filled Saturday. And I hope and pray that this testimony and the things that I learned has encouraged your faith today. And ladies, I will see you in the next one.